You can write stuff down now if you want to.
That's fine. We have like a bit. There's barely anything. I could probably just like nothing else.
Yeah, Carson.
So is this what we're going to be doing until our final?
No, this will last us probably 2 or 3 days, and then we'll do the other half of this.
Okay.
This is just chapter.
I'll be gone for the rest of this week.
Oh, that's right. I might try to print something off today.
Bro, I was
Okay, this is called, well, it's called intersection, but it's, yeah, it kind of means and. And means where both things exist. As be this and that. So if we were filling out that Venn diagram, what should we put in the middle of both circles? 1 and 9. Because both D and S have a 1 and a 9 in them. So in the middle of those two circles, you should put a 1 and 9. What should we put in the rest of the D circle?
1, 3.
No.
3, 5, and 7.
3, 5, 7. We already have 1 and 9 in the circle, so all you need is 3, 5, and 7 on the left side. What should we put in the S circle? 4. Because we already have 1 and 9 in the middle. Okay, what do you guys think the intersection of those two sets is? Yeah, what's the and part? 1 and 9. It's what they both have together. So that's 1 and 9.
That's the answer.
Yeah, for the blank line, yeah, you put 1 and 9 there. Will, I heard a really good Will joke yesterday. 2 of them. You guys might have seen this movie, so you might have heard this before. Hold on, let me think of it. Oh, I used to date a girl that was cross-eyed, but we had to break up because we didn't see eye to eye. Also, I think she was seeing somebody on the side.
That's better than a Will joke. That's like next level.
It's pretty good.
You know, you can kill someone with a piece of cheese, as long as it's sharp.
Say again?
You can kill someone with a piece of cheese, as long as it's sharp.
It's not sharp.
Is that a joke?
It's a cheesy joke.
There we go.
I got it from a meme, actually, one that's funny because it's 2 nights riding one has a lot of cheese.
Alright, anyways, the second one. Okay, you guys remember what the U meant? Or, yeah. So if it's an or, that means it can be in this one, or it can be in this one. Everybody's invited. It's inclusive. It's inclusive. This is called a union. Like everybody's united kind of thing. Intersection is exclusive. It has to be in both for them to be included. So, what did the little apostrophe thing right here mean?
No.
So, it's basically saying we're going to use everything that's in S and not D, or not D. What's
4.
not in D? Yeah. Well, what's not in D is the, let's see, I lost my place. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is the D. So what's not in D is the 4. Okay, what's in S? 1, 4, 9. So if we union these two, if we say this or this, what would that include? No, that's the intersection. Union is, it could be this or this. Everybody's invited. Everybody belongs. Everybody together. So you use all of it. But you wouldn't write 4 twice. It would just be You just write it once. So anyway, it would be 149. Union is the opposite, it's different than intersection. The union is everything from both groups can come. Because it can be this one or this one. It doesn't have to be both of them. It can be this one or that one. So it's 1, 4, and 9.
But what would we put in the D next to it?
Yeah, I don't know what they wanted you to draw in the middle because the Venn diagram should be like identical to the top. So I don't really care about the Venn diagram on that one. Okay, number 2, name 3 undefined terms of geometry and state the dimensions, the number of dimensions in each. Okay, so what they mean is what are the 3 basic things that we learned in geometry? It's probably like day 1, I don't remember, but
Sides, angles,
no.
lines, planes, and points.
Yes, points, lines, plane. Point, line, plane.
Put a plane.
Like a plane that flies.
It's spelled Plane. It's like a flat surface. Like the plains of the Great Plains kind of thing.
Planes in Spain.
Okay, so how many dimensions, I bet we're going to get this one wrong. How many dimensions does a point have?
None.
0. Okay, a dimension would be like left or right, up or down, front to back. Kind of think of it like a double-sided arrow. Planes or dimensions are, yeah.
Like marble.
So, how many dimensions does a line have? 1. Kind of like a left to right thing. How many dimensions does a plane have?
3.
2. All flat surfaces, no eating, Archie. All flat surfaces have 2 dimensions. Like when you watch a screen, we say that's 2-dimensional. You can get any, why is it 2 dimensions? Because you can get anywhere on it by going left and right, up and down. That's 2 dimensions. 1, 2. Okay, anyways, number 3. The other class knew these pretty well. I was kind of surprised. Fill in the blanks. Lines that are not coplanar are what? Skew. Okay. Coplanar lines means they're on the same plane. They could either be like parallel lines, those are on the same plane, or they could be intersecting lines, like if my smartboard was a plane. But if they're not on the same plane, it's kind of hard to draw it, but it would look kind of like this, like my arms are lines. They don't touch, they're not on the same plane. That would be skew lines, S-K-E-W. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Why don't you guys try B, C, and D? And then we'll see if you got them right.
So I'm gonna have to take the second half of the study guide and fill it out.
Yeah, I'll record it though.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you.
It's only when Marianne's gone that I don't record it.
I don't understand that, like, it's like why? Like, why? Like the whole week I was gone, you didn't record it.
It wasn't, that's an exaggeration.
No,
You
because.
weren't gone.
Yes, it was. Like the beginning of the year.
Few days.
No, I created, no, I recorded it. Never.
Yeah, you're gone like 2 weeks, weren't you? Okay, B. Any 2 points in space lie in exactly one. Okay. Here's 2 points. Pretend those are in space. They're both on the smartboard or the whiteboard plane, right? But I could also like think of a plane that's like coming in at this angle. To make my paper straight. That's a plane that the 2 points would be on, or this plane. So no, any 2 points are not in exactly one plane. They're in exactly one line. Whoop, I kind of missed. But yeah, there's only one line that's going to go through those two. So if you draw another one, that's not a line. So any 2 points are in exactly one line. If two lines intersect, they intersect in exactly one point. Hopefully we got that one right. Not a trick question. D, a line and a point that are not on that line are contained in one and only one plane. So if we go back to my line from earlier and I have another point, there's only one plane that can cover this line and this point, or that contain this line. It'd be the smart board or the whiteboard plane. Yeah, that's a plane. Okay, we did not do number 4 in chapter 1, so we're skipping that one.
That
Oh.
That name just did.
Is that what? E?
I'm doing number 4.
D, yeah, we just did D. Okay, number 5. This was the problem we did the worst on the chapter 1 test. Number 5. It's not this exact problem, but it's just like this problem. Okay, what did that symbol mean again? And it means the intersection means where both of them are, what they both contain. So what is H1 in that picture? Yeah, it's called a half plane, yes. It's the top half of the plane, you could say, I guess. Does the half plane include the line? No, it does not. A, B, C. The line kind of splits that plane into two half planes. And then the plane is called P. They put a little P up there in the corner. So what is the intersection of the two half planes? What do the two half planes both have together? No. No.
Is this B or
A.
P.
P?
No. Nothing. They have nothing in common. There's no points that the both half planes share. One's on one side, one's on the other. Intersection means what they both contain. They both contain nothing together. I don't know if we'll ever understand intersection meaning. We didn't on the chapter 1 test, we still don't know. Intersection. So letter B, it says half plane 1, union with half plane 2, union with line AB. So union means everybody's invited. So if we bring everybody together, what does that make?
P?
Huh?
P?
P. Makes the entire plane. If you combine both half planes in the line, that's everything. You guys know what the answer would have been if they said the intersection of all three of those things? Oh, do you guys remember how we wrote nothing for A?
Wasn't there just
Yeah, it's called the null set, empty set. Means nothing is an answer. Do you guys know what the answer would have been on B if they said the intersection of all three of those things? Nothing. They have nothing together. Again. Okay, anyway, C, another problem that we got wrong on the test. What is the intersection of ray AB and ray CA?
P.
No. Not quite. Okay, ray AB starts at A and goes forever through B. All that stuff. Ray CA starts at C and goes forever through A. What is the intersection of those two? No. Yes. See the blue and red together? That's the intersection. All that stuff. So what do I call this right here? Segment AC. Line segment AC. Okay, then it says, the union of ray AB, okay, ray AB, we just had that drawn up there, that's that thing, and ray BC, starts at B, goes forever through C. Okay, what does union mean? Means bring everybody, everybody's welcome. So if we do the union of those two things, what does that make?
BC?
No.
Ray
Ray AC, yes, or ray AB. Everything from here, if everybody's invited, everything from A on down. So this could be called ray AB, or it could be called ray AC. Doesn't really matter. You guys remember the ray symbol? Just read it. Okay, number 6. You guys have these memorized yet? Or maybe you did a long time ago. What is the smallest sided polygon? That triangle. Okay, triangle's 3. 4?
Yep. And quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral. We just took a test on quadrilaterals. 5?
Hexagon.
Pentagon. 6? 7?
Hexagon.
Heptagon. 8?
Octagon.
Octagon. 9?
Nonagon.
10?
Decagon.
11? I don't know what 11's called. 12? 12 is dodecagon. Okay. What's a... Yeah, 15 they call like a decapentagon or pentadecagon or something like that.
Should we put that on the,
No.
I mean on the test? I mean on the test, I mean on.
No, it's not heat.
On
The 15 thing?
Like,
Like triangle through decagon? You could, yeah. There's likely to be one question like that on the test, yes. Okay, what's the difference between a hexagon? You guys know what a hexagon looks like?
A 6-sided shape.
What's the difference between a hexagon and a hexahedron?
Hexagon is 2-dimensional and hexahedron is 3-dimensional.
Yeah. Hexagon is 2-dimensional flat. Hexahedron. So what's a 6-sided 3-dimensional shape look like?
Oh. One of those.
Well, this is one thing it could look like. But yeah, usually it looks like a rectangular prism. Or it could be a cube.
What in the world? It's like a pretzel in those ears.
Okay. Anyways, so 6A says hexagon. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6. B is pentagon. How many sides does a pentagon have? 5. C, tetrahedron.
14.
What was a tetrahedron?
12.
20.
Wait,
Okay.
13.
Hedron means it's 3-dimensional. And for some reason they didn't call it a quadrahedron like all the other ones. Has anybody played Tetris before?
No.
What?
How many pieces does Tetris have? Each of the things? 4. Tetrahedron has 4 sides. It's a 3-dimensional, 4-sided. They call them faces, 4 faces. Okay, dodecahedron.
Is that 12?
12.
I'm just trying to picture a 12
I think 12 is as high as we went.
No,
I think they might have mentioned icosa was 20. Maybe they mentioned that, I can't remember
I think they
actually.
showed a picture of like a 20-sided thing.
Okay, We'll say 12 as high as we need. Okay, number 7. Find the difference between the perimeter of the square and the circumference of the inscribed circle. What does perimeter mean? All the sides, the length of the distance around. All the sides added together. What's circumference mean?
6 times.
What's it mean? The length, the distance around a circle. So perimeter is the distance around a polygon, or most shapes, and circumference is the length around a circle. Perimeter we find by adding all the sides together. How do we find the circumference of a circle? 2 times radius times pi, or diameter times pi. So this would be a good note for the test. Circumference of a circle. Yeah, Will?
Well, I have a circumference.
Oh, you found it already. Mason?
And I also know the
Yes.
square.
Huh?
And I also have the circumference of the square. Or
Perimeter of a square.
I know the square.
Okay.
pretty easy.
While we're on this, I might as well, let's go ahead and talk about what's the area of a circle, or how do we find it, I mean. Pi r squared, yes. Yeah. There it is. So you do radius times pi to find the area, which they didn't ask us on this one, but that's what it means. Circumference.
So times pi.
Okay, so on 7, how would we find the perimeter of that square?
6 times 2 times 3.14.
Okay, right. The length of each side of the square would be 6 times 2, right? 12, because 6 is halfway. So if each side of the square is 12, what is the perimeter of the square? We're on number 7, Trevor. Yeah, 12 times 4 is 48 centimeters. Okay, and how would I find the circumference of the circle?
2 r times
2 times 6 times 3.14.
37.68.
How would I find the difference between those two? Subtract. It's like 10.32. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, on number 8, what it means, it says sketch, draw, and construct a right angle. What it means by construct is like use a compass and a ruler. And we did do some of that in chapter 1, you guys remember that? But I'm not going to put it on the test, so we're going to skip that. Let's go ahead and sketch it though. Go ahead and make a little right angle on that one and we'll just move on.
Then what's the drawing?
I forgot what the drawing was. I think it's better than a sketch, but not as good as a construction.
Like with a ruler?
Well, I don't remember. Possible. I don't remember what they meant by drawing.
Wait, how did
We subtracted
it?
the difference between the perimeter and the circumference. No.
Does Mason know U dollar
How did
too?
you get
The radius. 12 times 1. Oh, each side of the square would have to be 12 long. Okay, yep. Yes. Pi is 3.14. Okay, number 9. All right, a couple people in another class remember these words. Let's see if anybody here remembers them. Blank reasoning reaches a general conclusion by finding a pattern in several specific examples. Did you say again? Close. She said deductive. It's the other one. It wasn't
Inductive?
inductive. Yeah, it's called inductive reasoning. So inductive reasoning is like noticing patterns and like making an educated guess on what's happening. But blank reasoning applies given premises to reach a specific conclusion. Deductive. So deductive reasoning is like, if I know all the rules, then I can figure out what is going to happen for sure. And that's like basically all our proofs, all our geometry proofs for deductive reasoning. It's like if we know these things are true, then we know this is going to be true.
3 plus 3 equals 6.
Okay. While blank reasoning is frequently used to discover a relationship and make a conjecture. Okay, that would be what kind of reasoning? It would be inductive. So you're just kind of noticing the pattern and you're like making a conjecture. Conjecture is kind of like a hypothesis, like you're saying, I think this might be true. It's not a proven thing, it's just like an idea that you have.
Best guess.
A best guess, yeah. Blank reasoning is used to prove the relationship. Deductive reasoning. Deductive is supposed to be for sure, but you have to start with the right assumptions. I think in the other class we got through number 12, so we'll do that today. Okay, do you guys remember this?
Yes.
Logic. I think this was chapter 2. Number 9 was chapter 2 also. Bob, P is Bob is tall, Q stands for Mary is short. Keep my comments to myself. P or, what's this symbol mean? Or. Okay, why did they switch from this to this? For this they used this for set, like talking about sets, like sets are groups of things. And they use this for logic, which is what we did in chapter 2. But they're kind of the same idea. That's why they look kind of similar. And this was for sets, and this one was for or, for logic. So yeah, this is the or, this is the and. This is called a union. This is called, let's see, disjunction. Okay, so what is P V Q? What does that mean? P or Q, basically. So which option?
Tall or varnish.
Mary, not Mari.
Sorry, I replaced the Y's with I's. Sorry.
You did that on purpose.
No, that was one joke accidentally means to
That crossed my mind, but I didn't.
That was actually an accident.
I withheld myself.
You got called out.
I won't correct that.
Oh!
Okay, which one says Bob is tall or Mary is short?
3.
3, so that's option 3.
Somebody wrestle.
Okay, what did conjunction, which one was conjunction? That was this
That
one.
where you swap?
That was the and. That's what they called the and. They called the or the disjunction. So which one is the and statement? 1? Okay, 1.
We don't have to.
Yeah, I was going to say the I want to go.
Wait, or is disjunction?
Yeah, or is disjunction and with conjunction. Okay, what did the arrow and the squiggly line mean?
If P, then not.
No.
Yes, if P, then not. Q. So if P is Bob is tall. If Bob is tall, then Mary is not short. It means if P, then not Q. So which one says that? No. None of the above. If Bob is tall, then Mary is not short.
There's no none.
None of the above. Okay, does anybody remember what a biconditional was? You got your notes. Cheater. Okay.
If and only if.
Why would you say that? If Q, then
Because it's
P,
the
or
answer?
if Q, then Q, then Q.
Okay, yeah, it means it works both ways, like the original and the converse. So, it means if P, then Q, if Q, then P, but you can say it in one statement called if and only if. So, which one is the if and only if one? Two.
Will said it before I
I
did.
know, sorry. You kind of explained it though. Alright, complete the truth table. I think we did a table or two like this.
No, we didn't.
Well, I did it on the board anyway.
Is it gonna be on the test?
I
Well,
won't,
it's pretty
I don't know.
easy once you use.
I won't say for sure yes or no.
Will hit. So at hers, we're allowed to have one sheet of paper front and back. to the
Yes,
front.
yep.
Is there a limit to how big a piece of paper is?
Yeah, it's gotta be normal.
What's normal?
Just like that.
Yeah, what is normal?
No, you don't ask what's normal.
Why did you ask?
It's just like this.
Every single piece of paper you see in this room is normal.
Hey, this is more than last time. I mean, last time you were like, that was like half.
You can fit so much.
That's not a piece of paper.
So much.
That's cardboard.
You need to, you will throw it away.
Those aren't paper. You guys know what I mean. Alright. So, what did the V, on number 11, what did the V thing mean? Or. Now, when you have an or statement, for it to be true, does one of them have to be true, both of them have to be true, none of them?
One.
At least one. If both of them are true, is it still true? Yes. So, like if I say you guys are sophomores or you're freshmen, that's a true statement because one of them is true. If I say you're sophomores or you're Oklahomans, that's still true. That's still true because they're both true. But so on the first column, true, true would make a true. We're doing them by column here. We're going down, not left to right. True, false would make a true. False, true would make a true. False, false would make a false. Okay, the next column is an and. For and to be true, if I make an and statement, both my parts, if I say you guys are sophomores and you're freshmen, is that true or false? False. You're not both. So and has to both be true. So true, true. True. True, false. False. False, true. False. False, false. False. Okay, this next part confused the other class. So let's make an example. If you are Barshan, R.A. Barshan, then you are Oklahoma. Okay, that's a true statement, right? If you're from Bartlesville, then you're from Oklahoma. Now, so if the first one's true and the second one's true, that's a true statement, right? But what if I say you are not Barshan, you're not from Bartlesville? Is the second one going to be true or false?
False.
Think about it. If you're not from Bartlesville, are you from Oklahoma?
Yes.
You could
You
be.
can be.
Maybe. So if the first part is false, the second part could be true. That could still be true. If the first part is false, the second part could be false. Those both work. If the first part is true, the second part has to be true, because that's what if then means. If you are from Bartlesville, then you have to be from Oklahoma.
So if the first part's true, it has to be true, if the second part's false.
Right. If the first part's true, the second part has to be true. If the first part's false, could go either way. What did I miss? So all three of these work, basically, is what I'm saying. But what doesn't work, if the first part is true, then, and the second part is false, that would contradict this, so that would be a false statement. So, true is true.
How true?
True, false is false.
Which one are you on?
11.
The if-then one.
I know what which one.
The if-then one. P then Q.
P single arrow Q.
Okay, if the first one is false, can the second one be true? Yes.
Yes.
If the first one is false, can the second one be false? Yes. So it goes true, false, true, true.
True, false, true, true.
Yeah, well, I did it wrong. I'm stupid.
Okay, what does the double arrow mean? Biconditional. It means if and only if. It means if one of them is true, the other one has to be true. Works both directions. So they're like, have to be linked together. So true means true. True false would be false. False true would be false. If one of them's true, the other has to be true. If one of them's false, the other has to be false. False false would be true.
Oh, so the same might have to match.
If one of them's false, the other one has to be false. They're linked inseparably. Okay, now number 12. We'll end on this one. After 12. After 12.
Don't rush. We should just finish it off.
No, we got all week to do this and then the other. We got another one after this. We'll probably finish this tomorrow.
And then what do we do the rest of the week?
Another one of these. This is just chapters 1 through 3.
There's one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. State whether the following conditional is true or false. Then write its contrapositive. You guys remember contrapositive? And it involves flipping things, yes. And, girls, the equivalent disjunction. You probably forgot what that means. Disjunction means an or statement, so there's an or statement that means the same thing as the original. I'll help you with that. And state whether each is true or false. So, starting off with, if a figure is a circle, then it is a curve.
True.
Okay, I don't know if you guys remember this. A circle is what the book called a simple closed curve. So it is true. It's simple because it does not cross itself. Like it's not a figure 8 or anything. It's closed because it ends where it starts.
Well, if it's a spiral then.
Okay, a spiral would be just a curve. It's not simple.
No, I mean like one that doesn't hit itself, like
Oh,
it's smaller.
that would be a simple curve. This is just a curve. There's nothing special about it. This is a simple curve because it doesn't cross itself. A closed curve has to end where it starts. So, like a circle or like a figure 8. Anyways, okay. So the first line is true. What is the contrapositive to that first statement?
If it is a curve, then it
Okay.
appears it's a
That's the converse. Contrapositive is where you flip them both and then you negate both of them. You make them both like not. Right. If the figure is not a curve, write this next to contrapositive. If the figure is not a curve, then it is not a circle. If the figure is not a curve, then it is not a circle. So I switched the order, and then I made them both not statements, basically.
That would also be true, right? Oh,
Yes,
that is part of
the original statement and the contrapositive are logically equivalent. That means if one's true, the other's true. So the contrapositive is also true. If it's not a curve, it can't be a circle. So the second line is also true. Okay, the equivalent disjunction. Disjunction means or. You would just say a figure is a circle or it is not a curve. One of those would have to be true. We didn't talk about that much. I probably mentioned it once or twice. The figure is a circle or it is not a curve. Those are the two options. It could be a circle, it could be not a curve, but it can't be neither. But when they say an equivalent disjunction, that means it is basically saying the same thing. So it is also true. Okay, let's look at the test.